Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are. It is Sunday here in Chiang Mai and it's raining. I love mornings when they rain and I can just sit and watch the rain while I'm kind of doing my morning routine. It's a bit distracting but still nice. I hope that you guys will be able to join my team at patreon.com/boomshaka. If you're interested, go check it out. And in today's video, we'll be speaking about excuses. It's really interesting to me how our minds are so lazy sometimes, but also so smart. So same thing with our bodies. Like we kind of make up all of these excuses, and these excuses or rationalizations or justifications, they seem so smart and logical. And so you think to yourself, yeah, that's right. Not realizing that it's just an excuse that you've made up in your head so you don't do the work because you're afraid or you are lazy or whatever it might be, right? And so I was talking to a friend of mine recently, yesterday, the day before, and we were speaking about how he wants to become a more avid meditator. He wants to meditate every single day, and good for him. It's a good practice to kind of include in your daily routine. But the funny thing is that he said to me that he has kind of made up this kind of excuse in his head that says that if he cannot do the full lotus position in order to sit, where the knees and the feet are crossed together, if he can't do that, he's not going to be able to meditate properly. And so he's not going to start meditating until he's able to get himself into that position. Now, even avid meditators, like me, I've been meditating for 5 or 6 years, I do not meditate in a full lotus position. I do a half lotus position, right? And I know if I did the full lotus position, I would be able to do my meditation session for maybe 2 minutes because I'd be so uncomfortable. But when I'm in a half lotus position, which is just one leg crossed, then I can do that for 30, 40, even an hour at a time. I can sit in that position and not feel as painful, right? As much pain. But of course, I understand where he's coming from. I've made up all these random excuses in my head where I'm thinking to myself, oh, if I create a membership site, then it has to be really entertaining, so I have to dress up in all these random outfits and kind of do a little dance and stuff for them. Otherwise, they're not going to listen to my content, right? Because my content doesn't really matter. It's a dance that I do for them, right? And of course, again, that was an excuse in my head. Once I got over that excuse, I realized, no, it's going to be the content and the fact that they're going to understand and learn a lot from it. They're not going to care about the dance that I put in or the costumes that I wear and all that stuff, right? And so what are the excuses that you're kind of putting in your pathway, right? We do this, of course. I did it because I was afraid. I'm afraid that my membership site is not going to be good enough. I'm putting so much effort into it. No one's going to buy it. No one's going to care. And so I'm thinking to myself, let me just delay it, right? Let me kind of do all this nonsense on the side, delay it, so it never actually comes out. Right? And so I never have to kind of deal with the thing of rejection. Right? Maybe people will not buy it, and then I'll be sitting there and thinking to myself, I'm a complete loser. Right? The reality is that even if that happens, I'll have learned so much from the process, and also I can always tweak things, and the reality really is that it's not going to happen that way, right? But if it does, I'm prepared for it. The problem with all of us, with our excuses in our head, is that, as I said, our minds are really smart, right? They're smart in the fact that they're good at getting out of work, right? And so they're going to give you all these justifications and rationalizations or excuses, and you're going to think to yourself, wow, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't do this right now. I should do it in the future, 1 year or 2 years from now, when I'm really ready for it. Or, you're right, I'll never be a good entrepreneur because I've never actually had any good people in my life who were entrepreneurs, so I should never even bother, kind of thing like. And so the rationalizations and the justifications that the mind is going to throw at you, they're going to seem really powerful and really strong and really right? We have to be careful. We have to kind of take a step back and realize it is just an excuse that our mind is coming up with to protect ourselves. It's just trying to protect us from future rejection, future fear, future doubt, future anxieties and all that stuff, right? It's always easier to stay in the comfort zone, to stay here right now. I could just sit around and do nothing, or I could go and step out of my comfort zone and do all these things that I'm doing. On a constant daily basis, I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone, but every single time I do, my mind says the same thing. Why are you doing this? You could just sit around and not do all that stuff. Why are you making your life harder? Why do you have to build a membership site? Everything is going fine. You can just sit around and do nothing, or do what you're already doing, and that should be fine. Why put yourself into it? And all these rationalizations, justifications that my mind's sending, they're right. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, they make absolute sense. But that's not the point of it. If we can just step back and realize it is just an excuse that your mind is trying to give you so that you don't do the work, so you don't step out of your comfort zone, because our mind does not like it when you step out of our comfort zone, right? It does not like it. Our body doesn't like it either. You know, when you're doing an exercise that's really hard, your body's going to compensate so it makes it easier for you, right? So that's why we have yoga teachers that are always telling you, I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to make this easy for you. Don't do that. You're not going to get the benefit of that exercise if you do that. Same thing with our minds, same thing with our bodies, right? Our minds do the same thing. And so if we let them do it, then we're going to let the rationalization hold us back. What we need to do is step forward into the outside the comfort zone, right? Step forward into it rather than stepping back. Hope this makes sense to you guys, yeah? It's just, think about it for yourself. Like, what are you working on right now? What excuses is your mind coming up with? Like, what is it telling you that is not good enough right now? Why do you have to wait for the future? Every single time you think you have to wait for something to happen, stop yourself and realize it's an excuse. Because you're never going to be completely ready. Right now, in this moment in time, you're as ready as you can be. You might be a little bit more ready in the future, but that doesn't change anything. Right? Start right now, because it'll give you more information that you can use in order to build whatever you're building, rather than standing still and waiting for something to happen. Right? If I had stopped myself, and if I hadn't started building my membership site, I wouldn't have learned so much. I've already learned so much about the process of it. And so I'm constantly tweaking it and making it happen. If I had just stopped myself and said, okay, I'll wait for a few years or a few months, then I wouldn't have gotten that knowledge that I have right now. And the process itself takes a long time to build any of these things. It's going to take me a few months. So through the process I'm learning, but also through the process I'm growing. And through the process I'm making something that is absolutely so precious to me. And that matters. Hope this makes sense. If you guys are interested, go join my team at patreon.com/boomshaka. That's patreon.com/boomshaka. That's my name. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully. And bye for now.